Hey guys, and welcome back to mating season on Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Well, more like racing season. Either one. We'll probably get to a little bit of both today, considering I'll be cutting out a lot of what I end up doing today, just like I cut out a lot of other stuff. Well, I've picked up some of these chocobos now, and I'll show you on the way to the Gold Saucer where I got them from. But you want to get a good quality chocobo. There's different qualities, poor, fair, average, good, great, all the way up to wonderful. And they can only be encountered with certain groups of enemies, like I said before, at certain areas, certain chocobo tracks. So the ones around the chocobo farm here are either, I think, poor or fair. They're the worst of the chocobos when it comes to mating, so you don't want to use those. You specifically, in order to get the so-called special chocobos, the colored ones, you need to start with a good chocobo and a great chocobo. Later on, we'll also need a wonderful chocobo, so I've picked up all of these. Even though it looks like they're running, I think the classification of, good, great, wonderful refers more to mating capabilities than it does racing. I think it has a very small influence on racing, but it's almost negligible. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to put this one in the stable. So you'll put it in, and this is the point where a chocobo receives its gender. When you catch it in the wild, it is genderless, according to the game. They haven't made a decision on which gender it's going to be yet. So what you can do now is, this one's male. So, Choco M for male, whatever. What you can do now is you go outside, save your game, and then come back inside, try and get a female great chocobo so that they can mate. If you fail, reload the save file and try again. I think if you use save states, it ends up being more complicated than it's worth. Oops. So yeah, don't worry about that. Let's see if I can get it on my first shot here. If not, I'll do it off screen until I get the right gendered chocobo. I guess technically it would be a sex, but yeah, whatever. Gender is social, sex is biological, in case you were wondering. Alright, big money, big money, big money. Perfect, I don't even have to do editing. Yay! No more editing. Okay, chocobo female. Now, in order to enable them to race more effectively, we have to, train them. In the course of training in this game, all you basically do is you feed them greens, and then they get different stats. The different stat boosts we have are speed, stamina, which are visible, and intellect, which is an invisible stat. Basically what intellect does is it will affect how your chocobos will react to your controls. So I think you can feed them like something as low as 25 to max out their speed stat, but I want to give them even more stamina than that so that they'll never run out. So I'm going to go with about 45, I can do 49 for each one, so I'm just going to do that, and then it's going to, chime over and over again. And it sounds really weird when I hit fast forward, so we're not going to go through all that. Yeah, see, there you go. And the thing is, the Silcus greens are one of two greens that provides all of the those three stat boosts. Some of the other greens have maybe only speed and intellect, or only speed and stamina, or maybe just speed, or maybe just stamina. I can't remember what they all are. All I know is the Silcus greens provide the best stat boost that you can get. So I want to make sure I feed, the Silcus greens to all the chocobos I'm going to end up using. So I've done that one. Now we're going to do this one. So we give 49 to this one as well. Unfortunately, you can't just, hold the button and have it race up there. You have to, manually press the button 49 times to get it all the way up there. And there we go. Okay. And the line at the end, "they're getting along better," refers mostly to, what does it refer to? How well the chocobo is going to react to you. It's kind of like the intelligence boost, even after you don't see any intelligence boosting. Okay, now we've got this set up. Where do I need to go first? I want to show where I picked up these chocobos and the enemies I was fighting in order to do that. So let's head over to, well, probably should go over here first, because I know exactly where I'm going. I was going in the order that I happened to catch them in, not the order that actually makes sense. This is Medial area. As you can see, there's a big hole in the ground. It's Medial. There you go. Anyway, these tracks here, you can run into different enemies. The ones that I want to, or the ones that you want to run into in order to get what you want, are spiral enemies. You run into a spiral, one spiral or two spirals, I think. Where's my notes? Yes, one or two spirals with a chocobo. That chocobo will be great quality. And I'll just show a picture right now. Okay, so yeah, that's what the enemies look like. You run into those enemies with the chocobo. You know, you can throw greens at the chocobo to keep them happy and then take out the enemy. And then you'll have the option to send the chocobo back to the stables. Basically, you'll start riding the chocobo, and after you're done riding the chocobo, you hit the X button in order to, you know, dismount. You'll have the option of sending the chocobo to the stables, which makes it run off into the ether, and eventually it'll appear back at the chocobo farm there. And or, you know, let it go. If you happen to accidentally catch a chocobo you don't want, you can just let it go. You don't have to keep it. Do note that you can only keep a total of 4 chocobos in that big stable outside. Here is the icicle area. Here you can run into wonderful chocobos with 1 or 2 jumping enemies. And the picture is right here. Yeah, so it's the bunny rabbits. So if you run into that battle, you can also run into a battle of a jumping, a bunny rabbit and a wolf. I can't remember what their name is right now, but yeah, if you run into that battle, that will not work. That will be like a weak chocobo. It's very useless. You do not want to use that. And the wonderful one is the one we haven't used yet, if you're wondering. And here at the gold saucer area, you can run into, what is it? 2 Spencer enemies. They're little blue fish. Picture is here. And yeah, with these guys, you run into them with the chocobo, you get a good class chocobo. And so I've got the good and great class chocobos all set up, and we're going to head to the gold saucer to race them. And I'll just meet you at the chocobo part of the gold saucer here. Okay, we're back, and if you notice, there's somebody here that we've actually seen before. That is this young lady, I'm assuming she's young, this young lady over here, Esther, and she's back. Yeah, there is a lot going on. There's a whole, end of the world coming. So I want to breed some chocobos and do racing and do anything to avoid acknowledging the plot whatsoever. Okay, so apparently there's still plenty of jockeys around here that just want to ride chocobos all day. Yeah, basically, now we can register our own chocobos, just pick one or the other, and they have a rank. In this case, they start at the C rank. You can choose a long course or a short course. The only possible reason to do the long course is just to see it once. Other than that, it provides no benefits over the short one and takes more time. So, as a jockey, we can't buy tickets to bet on the race. However, if we win, we also get an item ticket based on, if we end up, if you remember, yeah, let's take a look at this. It'll be easier to show than tell. Yeah, see, so basically we have all of the top row there. So we want to come in first. If we come in first, we can win whatever item is associated with that. Say we come in first and chocobo number 2 pops in. The 1-2 in the top left corner, that will flip over and we'll find out what item we get from that specific one. Can't remember if I showed off chocobo betting before, but basically the way it works is that the little token or whatever it is will flip over. We'll get gift 1, 2, or 3, as denoted on the bottom left there, and you can either take the item or take some GP in its place. For the most part, you're going to want to take the GP because you'll need it for the battle square later. But yeah, as you can see, based on my stats there, I'm quite a bit better than all of these other chocobos, but this is only the C class. If you win 2 battles, or if you win 3 straight races, or not 3 straight, if you win 3 races in general in one class, you will move up to the next class, from C to B to A, and eventually to the S class. Now, if you don't remember Chocobo Racing from earlier, you hold R1 and R2 and press the square button, and then you will, your stamina shouldn't be eaten up too badly, and you should gain a little bit of it back, and you'll be able to run through the whole level without much of a challenge from these C-class people, or jockeys, chocobos, whatever. And if you remember from before, once we got down to this area down here, not this one, but the one that's inside this rainbow or whatever, in space, we actually slowed down, so you want to make sure you have a good sizable lead coming in here. I have way more of a lead than I actually need. And now we have to actually wait for number 2 to show up to figure out what prize we're getting at. So we can't end the race yet, so I'm just going to go hold fast forward. Whoa, that's hyper. And number 2 came in, so we get the number 1-2 card, which turns out to be a Fire Fang, which is utterly useless. So I'm going to take some GP for it instead. I want GP. Yeah, give me GP. So yeah, basically I'm going to race up both of these chocobos to Class A. I don't think I'll be able to win anything in Class A just because they'll be just too fast for me. These chocobos are not particularly good. Not in terms of their speed and all that stuff anyway. Eventually, obviously, the B class will have faster chocobos and the A class faster, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so I'm going to do that, and then I will... yeah, so I'm going to get A class chocobos, and then I will meet you back at the chocobo farm. Hey guys, welcome back, and done a lot of racing. That was a lot shorter than it used to be. It used to take forever to do this. But now I have an emulator with fast forward and a computer that really can take advantage of it, because the fast forward feature on this emulator is apparently tied to CPU performance, and it goes a lot faster than on the computer I had last year. So that's always good. Alright, now that I've got 2 chocobos, you basically talk to 2 of them and they mate. That one and that one. Yeah, let's mate those 2. And we need to choose a nut to give them. And if you remember earlier in the game that, there's a big dragon lizard type enemy at the icicle area right outside Bone Village. And I stole some carob nuts earlier on in the game. And you need 3 in order for this to work. And, well, you need 1 for this one and 2 more for subsequent mating situations. But if you give them a carob nut, that's the only one that has a chance of producing a special chocobo at this level. So let's give them that one and hope for luck. Yay! I got myself a green chocobo. And if you've played Final Fantasy 9 already, and haven't played this game for some reason, then you may not know what the green one does. What am I doing here? I'm not all that creative when it comes to naming chocobos. Normally I just make it simple. If I could find letters, and I name them after their colors. Anyway, so yeah, we've got a green one. The green one is like the red one from Final Fantasy 9? Yes. I don't know why I lost that, but anyway. So we have a green one, and we can feed it some more greens. I'll go get some and feed them another 40-some greens, 49 greens off screen. But what are we going to do with the green one? The green one can cross mountains, but it's pretty much all it can do. It's not like the red one exactly from 9, because it can't also cross the shallow rivers like the blue one could, more like the red one. And so in order to get another one, we have to mate again. But you shouldn't mate those that were just born or that just mated, because, of course, one's too young and the other needs to rest. If you talk to Chloe over here... Oh, no. Cole. Oh, geez, I remembered her name wrong. Oh, well. And, yeah, she'll tell you about the white chocobo. It'll just get mad, so yeah, don't do that. to her again. Okay, never mind. If you talk... shut up, go away. If you talk to her after doing a lot of stuff with Chocobo Sage and bringing back his memory, she'll keep a record of all the things that he said so that you can kind of figure out this quest that I've already figured out. So, because the Chocobos are the way they are, you know, they've just made it and they can't mate again, I think you need to go out and fight a few battles. I think it's somewhere between 5 and 10, so I'm just going to do that around here, kill some weak enemies really quickly, and I'll be right back. Alright, I fought all the battles I needed to, I think, and so I should be able to breed these two together to get myself another Chocobo. So we gotta talk to the other ones. I can't remember which, yeah, I know, I just want to find out what gender it was, jeez. No, I don't want to breed the same one with itself. Don't need to explore mitosis here on the Chocobo level. That's weird. Anyway, give him this nut. Let's see if I can get a blue one. Of course, I can't remember the gender of my green one, so I may or may not be able to keep this one. Let's see. And we get a blue one. This one's female. I can't remember if the other one was male or not. So I'll just call this one blue, obviously, because laziness. And where's the U? Thank you. Okay, so I did that. Now, tell me that this one was male. Nope, that one was female as well. So I'll have to go back off screen and get it set up. And I'll also feed the Chocobos while I'm at it, and race them as well. Oh jeez, this is going to take a while. These ones will be a little better because not only do they inherit some of the stats, the racing stats from their parents, but they also inherit their new Chocobos, so you can also feed them more greens to raise their stats even further. You can continually up the stats quite a bit. There is one jockey who will always have a 25% increase on whatever your stats are. The Chocobo's name is Tio, and he is a solid black Chocobo. And you'll encounter him in the races rarely at the B class, occasionally at the A class, and reasonably often at the S class. So anyway, I'm going to race these guys up to the S class, and yeah, that's pretty much all for this episode. Slightly short, but you know what? This stuff takes a long time to do off screen, so that's why episode might be a little short. Either way, that's all for now, and I'll see you guys next time.